actually don't first find apps in the app stores. They actually Google it or go to these sites, and this is what very often shows up for these review sites. So it's actually very important for you to be on these review sites and to actually get reviewed. The best way of doing that is actually, as with anything else, is to participate. And you want to start participating in these things earlier. So things that you want to do is actually comment and review applications. That is very helpful. That gives you greater visibility. It also it can help you network with other reviewers. You can also use LinkedIn and various other things to network with reviewers on these things. That is very helpful to get you noticed and to get you reviews by people who actually have a lot of pull. So this takes a lot of time, but it's well worth it, especially if you are doing lots of apps. It's an important thing to do.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing, because I just realized I'm sort of this like marketing geek guy, and you guys might not everybody knows about marketing. This is in public relations. It's Google PageRank. Google PageRank is a scale from 1 to 10. 10 is like Google itself. It's like really huge. It's actually from 0 to 10, so you can be a 0. So a Google PageRank of 6 is like super major. I mean, it's like a logarithmic scale. I didn't mean to scare you with that word, but it's it means that each level up is like twice as hard to get to than the other. And Alexa is the ranking of number 1 is the most visited site on the web, down. So if your Alexa rating is really low, that's really important. So the point of this is how many people actually go to these sites. So that helps you to know. This, by the way, this is just for iOS, this particular thing. I can help you with Android too, but I decided if I mixed them, it would look too confusing and people wouldn't know what to do, so I just sort of put this with iOS. All right, so the next thing you need to do is you need to think about ad networks. And there's several different types of ad networks. AdMob and iAd. This is Google and Apple, respectively. AdMob, and they do in-app ads. So when you're on your phone and an ad comes up, it's usually one of these two. And so you can advertise on those networks, especially if somebody's like in a certain spot, or if they're playing a game or in an application that's complementary to you, you could advertise there to get downloads. Mob clicks is a cost per install model. That means that you're going to pay them per install, and they will do the advertising and try to draw people. Tapjoy is really interesting. They have several different models. One of Tapjoy's models is like people will play games and they buy all these virtual things. This is especially Tapjoy is really good if you have a free model. And the reason being, so you have a game and you get like golden shovels or something, and you can get a golden shovel for free if you download this app. Now, why do you want to do that, even if it's like completely irrelevant? Because where you are in the search results has to do with how many downloads that you have. So basically, you're paying Tapjoy for downloads. To get all these people who don't really care about your app to download, but that will move it up so that people who do care actually download it or buy it. The other model that they have, that Tapjoy has, is they have click per action. And that's a really interesting thing. So you get 5 golden shovels if you, like let's say if you're marketing a game, if they get to level 2 in your game. And what the idea there is that you get them addicted and then they will go and purchase the rest of the app. Or if you have a business app, if they go and they execute these things. So it's building user engagement. You have to figure out what would hook the user and get them engaged, and then and only then do you pay Tapjoy. It's much more expensive, by the way, the cost per action model than the cost per install. But it's very effective for certain things where you can get somebody going and then they'll spend $5. Daring Fireball is an example of a website that does reviews. If you sponsor Daring Fireball for a week, they will review your app both at the beginning of the week and at the end of the week. Now, once they review your app, it's not guaranteed a favorable review, so if your app's not good, you'll hear that, but it's a great way to get the news out, and Daring Fireball's a site that a lot of people go to read about apps. So that's another way. So you need to look into some of these networks and figure out what you're going to do ahead of time and start doing your model. We're going to get in a little bit into the business model later, but before you can do the business model, you need to understand these sites and how they monetize things.
So that's,
go ahead.
okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to build in analytics from the start. Just as on your, you want analytics with Twitter and Bitly and with your blog, you put in Google Analytics or some other more sophisticated analytics package. You want to do that with your apps as well. We're going to get into why you want to do that later in a later stage, but it's a lot easier to do that from the start than try to retrofit analytics into your app later.
Okay, so now you've built up all your marketing, you've done everything, and you're getting ready to launch. You're going to put it out there, put it up in the App Store, and get ready to